Good morning. It's just past 6 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Down yonder 2 days in a row. What the heck, kid? Erin has local news. It's up next.
Trash troubles in Shreveport. We'll talk more about that. Is the Grinch in charge in Bossier? That's coming up this morning, too. And those holiday parties, be careful what you're doing.
Those are awesome teases. I got to tell you, on this trash thing, everybody is blaming the other guy.
Yeah.
All the backers of candidate A, who shall remain nameless, are blaming candidate B.
Right.
And all the backers of candidate B are blaming candidate A.
And we just want our trash picked up.
So what's the truth? We will discuss, and I've got that ghost story to tell you today, too.
Ooh.
Actually, it's more of an angel story.
Okay.
I'm not joking. Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, and it's all coming up this hour, and it's here on KEEL.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Trash troubles in Shreveport, politically motivated? Matt Parker takes a look.
According to the city of Shreveport, trash pickup was delayed this week due to 15 or so workers calling in sick Monday and Tuesday. However, Mayor Ollie Tyler doesn't think this was coincidence. She believes the move was politically motivated. The mayor told the Shreveport Times that a former sanitation worker who was wearing an Adrian Perkins for Mayor shirt convinced the employees to not show up for work in an attempt to make the mayor look bad before the election. Adrian Perkins says he would never ask or authorize anyone to do such a thing. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Another election note today, a vote on alcohol sales could cost jobs in Bossier. Saturday, some areas in Bossier Parish will vote on 5 propositions that would end, maintain, or expand alcohol sales. The move to get the items on the ballot came when businesses such as Brookshire's, located in some parts of the parish, wanted to sell liquor. However, many businesses are worried the vote may force them to go out of business. Bossier City won't follow the governor's lead. Despite Governor John Bel Edwards making a New Year's Eve a state holiday, city employees won't get the day off. The Bossier Council, in a 1-6 vote, rejected a proposal to make Monday, December 31st, a city holiday. It's that time of year when businesses start having holiday parties, and they have the potential to go horrifically wrong if things get out of hand or the company does a poor job of planning. National Federation of Small Business State Director Dawn Starnes says harassment awareness is at an all-time high, so don't incentivize inappropriate behavior.
Don't hang the mistletoe. It's kind of one of those things you don't need to encourage any kind of activity with that, even though it might be fun decoration.
She also recommends hiring Ubers for your employees if alcohol will be involved. A burned murder victim has been identified. Tawfiq Galbabi has been identified as the man found in the middle of a brush fire on Murphy Street, December 31st. He was identified after family members came forward with evidence for ID. Police still investigating the crime as a homicide. A man found guilty of assaulting an officer, Andre Bell, convicted for attempting to run over a Shreveport police sergeant following a robbery at Sam's Town Casino. During Bell's high-speed getaway, he hit several cars and tried to run over the officer. After diving out of the way, the officer fired several shots at Bell, striking him in the shoulder. Officers arrested Bell after he wrecked his car a few blocks away. George H.W. Bush will be buried today at his family plot at College Station. He'll be alongside Barbara Bush, his wife of 73 years, and Robin Bush, the daughter they lost to leukemia at age 3. His body is now at a Houston church where mourners are paying last respects.
It's a celebration of a life well lived, and I think that it's as you look back on his life, as people are looking back this week, that it's really a celebration and a looking just for how well that he lived, and I think that's what people are really remembering most this week.
On Wednesday, the country said goodbye to the 41st president in a national funeral service. Google's self-driving car spinoff hitting the road for real. Waymo's rolled out a small-scale ride-hailing service, but it's only in the Phoenix area for now. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Nine past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Thursday morning traffic. Here's Ruben.
Starting things off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Shreveport-Barksdale Highway near Knight Street due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app is always a free download. Download it now. That can be the audience's gift to me for Christmas. Download the app.
If you want to give Robert a gift, that's a great gift.
Robert needs Christmas, the Yuletide spirit.
He needs appage.
Would embalm me. Mm-hmm. Well, poor choice of words. You were just waving your hand.
I'd love to embalm you.
I would love for the audience to download the app for you and to send me cash.
You got a point there.
No checks, please.
I want to start, but I don't know anything about this because this was like developing, and it was all rumor yesterday morning. Here's what I know. When we left here yesterday morning, you were getting these texts and emails about the sanitation workers are on strike. and like literally you were inundated with these. Have you heard the Shreveport sanitation workers are on strike?
Garbage is piling up all over the city.
It looks like Manhattan, and only a couple of days, 3 days before the election. What is it? And then
it smelled dirty.
And then you didn't believe it for an instant.
I didn't.
And then all the people who are backing Perkins started blaming Ollie. Then all the people who are backing Ollie started blaming Perkins. And I'm thinking, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You're both blaming the other candidate. The supporters of candidate A and candidate B are blaming candidates B and A for something that's not even real. So what is well, first of all, because you did a lot of digging on this yesterday, talked to a lot of folks. What happened? How did this get started? Is this the work of people with nefarious intent? Do we know who it was? Do we know why they did it? Is any of it true? In other words, was there a scintilla of truth that sort of started rumors that got out of hand? Give me the whole story and tell us give us the facts.
Well, some employees called in sick Monday and Tuesday. I'm told as many as 15 to 20 workers called in sick Monday and Tuesday.
I would think there's a lot of people in the sanitation department. I'm thinking, I would bet there's like hundreds, huh?
Well, that almost cut the service in half.
What?
From the amount of trucks we were able to send out.
So really, I didn't know this. There's maybe at most 40 or 50 guys working every day.
I guess that's about it. I'm not sure. Wow. Maybe more, but it's not the guys, and as much as it is, you have to have a certain amount of people to man each truck. And if you don't have that amount of people,
trucks can't
the
leave.
Trucks can't roll.
Yeah.
And so when the trucks can't roll, the trucks
slow
who are rolling have to do double duty.
Right.
And so mine was picked up Monday on schedule. From what it looks like, I wasn't there, so I'm not certain.
I'm a Monday pickup. I just have so little garbage, and you've heard my riff on garbage socialism, water socialism. No need to fall into that.
Right.
All I know is I've got one bag every 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm paying full price.
Here's the statement from the mayor's office. I'll read this portion of it to you.
Stop a second.
Yeah.
So this rumor about the sanitation workers have walked out.
Yeah, first I thought it was untrue. I thought, somebody's just starting to stir up some political mess.
This literally, it rose to the level where the mayor had to issue a statement?
I emailed the mayor about the text that I was getting and asked her if
what
she
did
thought
that say,
this was...
by the way? Can you give us details without mentioning...
My email to her?
No, the text is the text that you got. Are the emails you received about the sanitation workers are walking out and Ollie sucks?
I got it from 3 different people. Let me see which one's the best.
Would it be fair to say, without attaching the sources of these texts and emails, listen to me now because this is important.
Okay.
Would it be fair to say, without mentioning names, that the sources of these texts and emails, though not attached to Perkins or his campaign, are opponents of the current mayor?
Probably, yeah. Probably
I'm not off the mark there.
Yeah.
With either statement, not attached to the Perkins campaign, but opponents of the mayor.
Normally 32 trucks go out. 20 were sent out. There was a shortage of personnel due to people calling in sick, and some have actually left to go work in Bossier, where they can make $15 an hour versus $10 an hour here. Another text I got said it really isn't new that residents in other cities pay for their garbage collection where we don't pay here.
Well, they're called taxes, but go ahead.
Let's see. I'm trying to scroll through. Some of this is just the mayor's news release says 5 or 6 trucks did not run. Council members believe that 12 out of 32 did not roll.
So exactly what happened? Why did this rumor start that they're on strike?
Well, people's people's stuff wasn't picked up, and there were some sanitation workers that were apparently,
was
saying
this,
things.
Be honest with me now. Or was it, once this kind of started, were there politically inclined people who are opponents of the mayor? And again, let me reiterate, and I'm being totally serious here. Were there people politically inclined, opponents of the mayor, but not necessarily attached to the Perkins campaign, who looked at this and said, we can take advantage of this?
I don't know. I don't know. Perkins did say that some sanitation workers did ask to meet with him. He absolutely denies, encouraging them to walk off or call in sick or anything like that. He said that absolutely did not happen. He did, he does want to hear their concerns.
That nose wipe sounded great on the radio.
Sorry. I'm trying to stay healthy.
I know.
I need some tissue.
Trying to stay healthy.
The mayor issues this statement
So
yesterday.
it literally rose to the level where the mayor of Shreveport felt compelled to give an explanation.
Yes,
Okay, go ahead.
her communications office issued this statement. I'm going to start in the middle of it kind of, but some employees called in sick and did not show up for work earlier this week, causing a shortage of trucks to be in use for Tuesday's collection. Public Works Management believes these actions were encouraged and politically motivated. This is a quote now.
Whoa. So now the mayor's office, in an official statement, is blaming, if not the other side directly, at least some of her opponents.
Right. The mayor says, quote, I appreciate the majority of dedicated solid waste employees who did show up for work this week and demonstrated that public service is a priority over politics. When outside politics began to affect city operations and our quality of life, those responsible are not in keeping with the best interest of our community.
But that's kind of painting with a broad brush, too, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, there is a policy where you call in sick 2 days. On day 3, you have to have a doctor's note.
Yeah.
So I'm told by somebody inside that some of those who'd been out 2 days showed up on the 3rd day, attended a meeting or something like that, and then left again.
But do we know if that's true?
Don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to verify that. I'm hoping to get the one of the workers with solid waste who's kind of an organizer in the group on today.
So let me reiterate. Let me say this once again. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the mayor, or at least the mayor's from the mayor's office, in an official statement, is blaming people not necessarily associated with the Perkins campaign, but her opponents nonetheless.
No. She said somebody wearing an Adrian Perkins T-shirt did have conversations with solid waste workers and encouraged them.
That's what the mayor's office said.
The mayor's now is that person with the campaign, or they happen to just have
or
a
is
shirt?
that true?
Yeah, or right, exactly. So this is stinky.
Wait a second.
2 days from the election.
Who's the one in this room who for the last 6 weeks has been saying, man, I just hope this gets rough and tumble. I hope they get down and dirty. I want them to go at each other. And now, and all along,
I don't want down and dirty on my front lawn. I mean, still clean up my lawn. Don't leave my trash out there. I didn't want this. Mine got picked up, though.
So who can we go to today to find out the facts?
I'm working on that.
Or are both candidates laying so low that, I mean, is this like that November surprise in a presidential election? Or is it just too little?
It's not that big a deal.
Or is it just is it a perfect confluence, if that's the right word, of events that everybody's trying to take advantage of, and it's all coincidence? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Parky, what do you hear? What do you know? What do you think?
Well, I just find it kind of funny that there's a mystery man in an Adrian Perkins T-shirt with enough pull. It's like, hey, the new guy's going to give me a job, so you guys should take off of work, which is kind of the accusations followed by, but we don't know that for certain.
It's just
In an official statement by the mayor.
yeah, it's like a bad episode of House of Cards.
22 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Sports is on the way right now. Traffic update from Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel Sports Update. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. It's been quite a week for the football-playing Ferguson brothers. Last week, NSU wide receiver Jazz Ferguson was named the Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Wednesday, older brother Jalen Ferguson, a senior defensive end for Louisiana Tech, was named Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year, the first Bulldog to earn the honor since Tech joined Conference USA in 2013. Ferguson set the school and conference record with 42.5 sacks so far with the Hawaii Bowl to play. He has 1.5 sacks from tying Terrell Suggs for the NCAA record. The Pelicans roasted the Mavericks in New Orleans 132-106 Wednesday night. Julius Randle and Anthony Davis each scored 27 points. Randle scooped up 18 rebounds while Davis dished out a career-best 9 assists. And Arkansas won for the 6th straight time since opening the year with a loss. The Razorbacks beat Colorado State on the road 98-74. Jalen Harris had a career-high 12 assists, while future lottery pick Daniel Gafford scored 9 of his 12 points in the second half. Lakeview Gator alum Adrio Bailey finished with 10 points and 6 rebounds for the Hogs. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert, what?
We have such a great day coming up.
Tell me.
We have Stephen Wagaspack's going to join us at 7:40.
Yeah,
We're talking about the
I got some
governor's
late
race.
break. You know, John Kennedy has sort of expounded on why he did not run, why his choice. Did you see what he said?
No.
Ooh, hang on, we'll do it. I don't know what time we'll get to it. Probably at 7:10. To go ahead.
And in the 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm giddy about this.
Half hour or a whole hour?
However long we can time to the chair. Bill Joyce is going to be here. The legendary Bill Joyce.
William Joyce.
Yeah.
Roly Poly Oly. Mm-hmm. Wow.
The guy.
What's he working
Oscar
on?
winner.
A new book, a new movie?
Got a new book. He's got a book signing this weekend. Wants to promote that.
Where's he going to do that?
I'm not sure.
He'll tell us.
Yeah, he'll tell us.
Okay.
I think it's at Barnes and
Is he
Noble,
gonna
but I
bring
may
us
be wrong.
copies? Is he going to bring us books?
I don't know.
I love books
I thought about that yesterday. I thought if he brings a book and offers to sign it,
Yeah.
who do you get him to sign it for? I mean, who do you gift that to?
Are you serious? For me?
For you?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm gifting Monroe Pearl.
Oh, no.
That's for Monroe Pearl.
Here's what you do, okay? You get him to sign your book and give it to me. I'll get him to sign my book and keep it.
No. I'm getting it for my great niece. It's my mother used to pride herself on giving books to the grandchildren for Christmas, and she would put a special note in them. Wait. And so I would love him to write a special note to my mother's first great-grandchild, who's 2, and give her that book. That would be awesome.
Or have you thought about having him sign a book to your yet unborn grandchildren?
I thought about that too.
Did you really?
I thought about that too. The problem with that is that my oldest son, this is a bad story. He's going to kill me for this.
We can go to break if you want to think about it.
No, let me get it over with.
We can go to break if
He's
you
not
wanna...
listening now. He's asleep, so don't tell him.
Yes, because that's basically the bar. Look,
he is the third.
Wait, stop.
Wait, that's a funny story.
No,
Quickly.
I'll let you tell your story. You'll get your story.
Okay.
But I want to give you the chance to think about it because you say he's not listening now.
He's
okay?
not.
There's somebody in this room who assumed day before yesterday that nobody was listening. No, that a specific person's or person was and
I got called to the principal's office and yelled at for about 30 minutes yesterday.
We're going to go to break.
We'll tell it when I come back.
When we come back,
I'll think
that
about
will give you a couple or 3
to gird
minutes
my loin
to reassess.
Yeah, okay.
29 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. 212 area code, whatever it was. Traffic update, here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Swan Lake Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
The nation paused to remember George H.W. Bush. And we pause again today. The former president to be buried today at his family plot on the Presidential Library grounds at Texas A&M University in College Station. His body is now in a Houston church where they'll have a family service today. Thousands of people have lined up in Houston to view the casket while it's there.
Honored to be here. It's just exciting. And we knew that it was a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's historical. It's just cool.
On Wednesday, the country said goodbye to the 41st president and national funeral service at Washington National Cathedral. Trash troubles in Shreveport. City leaders say trash pickup was delayed this week because 15 or so workers called in sick Monday and Tuesday. However, Mayor Tyler doesn't think this was a coincidence. She believes the move was politically motivated. The mayor telling the Shreveport Times a former sanitation worker who was wearing an Adrian Perkins for Mayor shirt convinced employees to not show up for work in an attempt to make the mayor look bad before the election. Perkins says he would never ask or authorize anyone to do such a thing. Bossier City won't be following the governor's lead. Matt Parker has that.
Despite Governor John Bell Edwards making New Year's Eve a state holiday, city employees in Bossier won't get the day off. The Bossier City Council, in a 1-6 vote, rejected a proposal to make December 31st a city holiday. Council members said that if City Hall shuts down, it would send a negative message to taxpayers in the community. However, Mayor Lo Walker says that he was in favor of giving employees off, acknowledging that Bossier doesn't pay the highest wages, and then an extra day off is like a bonus for employees. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Saturday, some areas in Bossier Parish will vote on 5 propositions that will end, maintain, or expand alcohol sales. The move to get the items on the ballot came when businesses such as Brookshire's, located in some parts of the parish, and wanted to sell liquor. Mary Barra, the CEO of GM, came to Capitol Hill telling lawmakers why the company is cutting some 14,000 jobs. Edward Lawrence of the Fox Business Network reports from Washington.
This issue has unified Republicans and Democrats. Senator Rob Portman from Ohio says that he asked Barra if she could move new technology cars into the plant in Ohio.
Just as the workforce has stood with General Motors over the years, we expect General Motors now to stand with this workforce and give them a chance. We've talked a lot about the possibility of bringing another product to the plant.
Barr says the restructuring is necessary for the survival of GM.
President Trump's been threatening to cut subsidies to GM if they go through with the layoffs. A burned murder victim identified, Tawfiq Gobahi's been identified as the man found in the middle of a brush fire on Murphy Street December 1st. Gauby was identified after family members came forward with evidence for identification. Police investigating the crime as a homicide. Man found guilty of assaulting an officer, Andre Bell convicted for attempting to run over a Shreveport police sergeant following a robbery at Samstown Casino. The Pantone Color Institute out with its annual color of the year. It's living coral. You better beep off. Beep, beep, beep. Looking at the color than trying to figure it out based on description. Some say it's like the sky at dusk, kind of orangey gold you see as night begins to fall. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Beep, beep, beep.
1017 FM and 7 1017 FM and 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. Okay, so you had about 3 or 4 minutes to think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, my son's probably not listening.
He's not. He's asleep. No one will tell him.
Okay, so not only is he not listening, not only are you counting on him not listening.
No one will tell him.
You're counting on no one telling him.
No one will tell
Everyone raise their right hands.
Yeah. Do not tell my son I told this story, okay?
Go ahead.
My son is a third. He's the third, blah, 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 the third, okay? He says he's going to have the fourth. When he has a son,
in the
it's going to be
of lineage.
Blah, 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 the fourth.
Okay.
He says he's going to call his son 4. We're in an argument about this. I said, you cannot call a child 4.
Now, see, I have a couple of friends who that are the third, or their child is the third, and they call them Trey.
Trey is okay.
Quad.
No, quad is definitely out.
I think it's awesome.
You holler
Let's do
for
it.
4, you think you're on a golf course his whole life. 4. He's going to think he's a, perennial golfer. Like, I don't want my grandbaby to be called 4.
4, he thinks he's on a golf course.
So if I ask Bill Joyce to sign a book to 4, I'll feel a little silly.
You got a point there.
Can you sign this for my...
If you ask him to sign it to quad, you might feel worse.
Yeah. Can I say quad or 4? We're not sure which it's going to be
to
yet.
my yet unborn grandchild, whom I love with all my heart.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know which son's going to have a baby first.
A.K.A. Quad.
Dear, I hope it's not Quad's dad. Or 4's dad.
4.
I'm going to call him 4. How stupid is that?
It's
firstborn named 4.
I've known your I've known your elder son since he was 3 years old. He's done a lot of dumb things.
This would be up there, yeah. This would be up there. 4.
639.
Look out!
639. That's classic.
Oh, God.
God, I'm glad that you didn't think better about that.
I shouldn't have told that story, huh?
No, it's too late now. Don't tell him. 639. Here's Ruben.
Starting things off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Shreveport-Barksdale Highway near Knight Street due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
And Erin, KEEL app's a free download from Office Furniture Source. Okay, so in Shreveport, the chief of police is Alan Crump. The substitute chief is Ben Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Crump will be it's really complicated, especially when you consider that one of the things that Adrian Perkins said he would do if elected was, well, you know what? Yesterday morning in the 8 o'clock hour, we chatted with local attorney Ron Machota, who has a great deal of experience, civil service, what's it called?
Yeah, he's the Police and Fire Municipal Civil Service Board. He's the attorney who often represents police officers.
Gotcha. And that was basically, well, Erin had the first question out of the box.
A lot of people with differing opinions. I thought, let me go to a guy who knows the ins and outs of this legal mess. But first, I want you to listen to what Adrian Perkins told us if the first thing he would do if he were elected mayor. You ready?
Sure.
Here he goes.
Call the police chief and ask for his resignation. That's number one.
Okay. He can ask for his resignation. Can he fire him?
No, what he would have to do is, as the appointed authority, the mayor at that point, if he's elected, would be the appointing authority. They would have to move to ask the Civil Service Board for a hearing to remove the chief for good cause, and that would be entailing putting evidence on that the chief didn't do things properly, and that would be the cause.
So if theoretically, let's say that Chief Crump were still in the chief's chair with the endorsement, with the backing of Mayor Tyler, but let's say that Adrian wins the election in a week and he comes in and he wants to change police chiefs. What if Chief Crump's, no, I like this job, I ain't leaving. What's the protocol? What's the process?
Well, the city attorney's office would have to prepare a request to go to the Civil Service Board and outline why they want him removed. Then the Civil Service Board would have to make a determination whether those reasons are sufficient to remove him, and then they would have to have a majority vote to remove him. And then, of course, he can appeal that to district court and the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court.
So literally the chief of police of Shreveport, Louisiana, does not serve at the pleasure of the mayor.
He is civil service. He's protected by civil service, as all policemen and firemen. So he's got that protection. So he's already been certified as the chief, and to remove him, they're going to have to show good cause to remove him.
When you say good cause, what do you mean by that?
Well, that he, that he did things improperly, that he's incompetent, things of that nature.
Okay, Ron, let me ask you another question. Everybody's talking about, does the medical leave part of this change things too? I would think if I were pregnant and on leave, my bosses couldn't fire me. I mean, I could sue them. It would be a huge lawsuit.
Yeah, I think that they can remove him for cause, even though he's on medical leave.
So the same would apply?
Yes.
What do you anticipate happening if Adrian Perkins is elected? Do you anticipate this being a lengthy legal fight?
I think by the time it got to the Civil Service Board and there was a hearing, Chief Crump would already be gone as far as retiring.
Would he switch from medical leave to retirement, you think?
I do.
Really? What makes you think that?
Well, I think he's ready to move along in his life and devote more time to his church. And I think he's using the medical leave properly. I think he's got a hip problem, and he wants to get that repaired and fixed. And then I think at the end of his medical leave, I think he'll retire.
You've handled a lot of stuff like this before. Can you, off the top of your head, recall a situation where at any level of government, when you had workers, policemen, firemen, et cetera, who were protected by the board, who just literally, no, I'm not going. I'm staying. I like this job. Come get me if you can. Have you ever had a case like that?
Sure. Years ago when Prater was the chief of police, he wanted to remove one of his assistant chiefs, and he petitioned the Civil Service Board, and I represented the assistant chief, and he was successful in removing that assistant chief. And that happened probably, I don't know, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when Prater was the chief of police.
Talking to Ron Machota, let me switch gears to Ben Raymond for a minute. He's in a position they call substitute chief.
Right.
Does that verbiage change anything with regard to these requirements?
No, not at all. He's not certified, so if a new mayor comes in and they want to appoint someone else as interim chief or substitute chief, they surely can, because he's not certified in that position.
So basically, pardon me, he's not, God, it sounds horrible, he's not really the chief rank-wise or legally, right?
Oh, he's legally the chief right now, but if somebody wants him out, they can surely remove him and place who they want to as interim chief.
Without cause on this one, right?
Yes, because he's not certified.
Okay. There's no plan to get him certified between now and Saturday. I don't guess.
It's impossible.
Okay. How long does that take?
It could take 6 months to 12 months, but he's not certified, so he can't fulfill that position at this point.
649, it's 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL traffic update.
Starting things off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Shreveport-Barksdale Highway near Knight Street due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
KEEL Weather Channel forecast, mostly cloudy today and still cool, low to middle 50s. Right now, 42 at KEEL. Coming up just a couple of seconds away, Your Money Now, once again brought to us by Barksdale Federal Credit Union.
I'm Jennifer Kashinka with your
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL Sports Update. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. It's been quite a week for the football-playing Ferguson brothers. Last week, NSU wide receiver Jazz Ferguson was named the Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Wednesday, older brother Jalen Ferguson, a senior defensive end for Louisiana Tech, was named Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year, the first Bulldog to earn the honor since Tech joined Conference USA in 2013. Ferguson set the school and conference record with 42.5 sacks so far with the Hawaii Bowl to play. He has 1.5 sacks from tying Terrell Suggs for the NCAA record. The Pelicans roasted the Mavericks in New Orleans 132-106 Wednesday night. Julius Randle and Anthony Davis each scored 27 points. Randle scooped up 18 rebounds while Davis dished out a career-best 9 assists. And Arkansas won for the 6th straight time since opening the year with a loss. The Razorbacks beat Colorado State on the road 98-74. Jalen Harris had a career-high 12 assists, while future lottery pick Daniel Gafford scored 9 of his 12 points in the second half. Lakeview Gator alum Adrio Bailey finished with 10 points and 6 rebounds for the Hogs. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Hang on just a second. I want to open this. Remember yesterday we were talking, did you watch the Bush funeral?
Oh, of course I did. Twice.
Seriously?
Yeah, at least twice. Incredible. Just incredible.
What did George Bush give to Michelle Obama, did they say?
A mint.
Was it?
Because during the John McCain service,
yeah. Did it have meaning? I don't know the story.
Yeah, apparently he gave her a mint during the actually I think maybe during the inauguration, and handed her a mint, and then did it again during the John McCain funeral, and then did it again yesterday. I think there was 3 occasions. I may be wrong.
I watched last night. It was on HBO. I found it by accident. The documentary on George H.W. Bush called 41. And we had talked yesterday about some degree of, when it comes to President Bush, that President Bush revisionist history. And remember, I had the Gorbachev quote, he worked with me to end the Cold War. I'm going, hold on a second. What?
Where were you?
You're like the guy that followed Vince Lombardi and took the Packers down the crowd. Oh, never mind. The point I'm going to make was he had one line in there about Ross Perot and the 1992 election. George H.W. Bush did. And for all the talk of it's the economy stupid or anything else that you would sort of Clinton he ran a hell of a race. It was basically Ross Perot who took 19% away from Bush, who cost him the election. The only mention of that in 41, the documentary, was as follows. I wrote it down. He cost me the election. I don't like him. Other than that, I have nothing to say.
That's pretty cool.
1017 FM 710 Keel. Here's Rush.
Well, here's a shocker. Harvard student newspaper The Crimson just ran an editorial calling on Harvard to hire more conservative professors. A month ago, the same paper ran a poll showing that 83% of the Harvard faculty identified as liberal or very liberal. Only 1.6% said that they're conservative or very conservative. The Crimson said these statistics do not reflect America. Really? Yeah, the editors warn the lack of ideological diversity creates a perception that Harvard does not welcome conservatives. They say it's why many Americans distrust higher education. They also say that adding conservative professors would help challenge prevailing ideas on campus. The editors believe that's a good thing. So why is the Crimson swerving into common sense here? Well, maybe these editors were shocked at President Trump's election. Maybe they suddenly noticed the giant disconnect between the Ivy League and the rest of the country. It really doesn't matter why, because the people who actually run Harvard are 100% liberals, and they won't listen to a bunch of student editors. They may talk diversity, but they'll never embrace ideological diversity, especially if that means hiring conservative professors. Oh, maybe a token here or there, but on a mass basis, it isn't going to happen. I wish it would, but it won't.
Hey guys, how's your game going? If you know what I mean. A lot of you know me, but you may not know my name. I'm sildenafil, the active ingredient in that little blue pill, you know, that helps guys with ED. I'm really super excited to tell you I've moved into a generic pill that you can get at forhims.com. Gosh guys, everybody wants to perform their best, but not everyone could afford me. I mean, in that little blue pill. But now I can be yours at forhims.com. Hims connects you with licensed doctors who can prescribe me online, and then I get delivered right to your door. So easy. And get this, your first month is just $5 when you go to forhims.com/strong. $5 for a whole month of me? That should make every guy stand up and cheer. To get your first order for just $5, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/strong. That's forhims.com/strong. Get started today for just $5 at forhims.com/strong.
See website for full details. Not all services through the HIMS platform are available in all 50 states.
The intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Breaking news and trending talk. KEEL, 710 AM and K269GO, 1017 FM, Shreveport.
Just after 7, Robert and Erin. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel down yonder. Miss Erin has local news, and it is up next.
Trash troubles for Shreveport. We'll be talking more about that. Is a Grinch the boss in Bossier? That's coming up, too. And some alcohol votes are on the agenda for Saturday.
Okay, we've just got too much stuff. We're trying to get C.A. O'Brien Crawford in just a couple of minutes to talk about this trash mess, all the rumors, what's rumor, what's fact, why is everybody blaming everybody else, especially if you're a mayoral candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Stephen Wagas back to talk about John Kennedy and some other stuff at about 7:40.
And our crews are out for Operation Santa Claus, too. They're out in Houghton today, I believe.
Fletcher and sports and traffic and weather, it's all coming up this hour right here on KEEL.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Trash troubles in Shreveport, politically motivated? Matt Parker takes a look.
According to the city of Shreveport, trash pickup was delayed this week due to 15 or so workers calling in sick Monday and Tuesday. However, Mayor Ollie Tyler doesn't think this was coincidence. She believes the move was politically motivated. The mayor told the Shreveport Times that a former sanitation worker who was wearing an Adrian Perkins for Mayor shirt convinced the employees to not show up for work in an attempt to make the mayor look bad before the election. Adrian Perkins says he would never ask or authorize anyone to do such a thing. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Another election note today, a vote on alcohol sales could cost jobs in Bossier. Saturday, some areas in Bossier Parish will vote on 5 propositions that would end, maintain, or expand alcohol sales. The move to get the items on the ballot came when businesses such as Brookshire's, located in some parts of the parish, wanted to sell liquor. However, many businesses are worried the vote may force them to go out of business. Bossier City won't follow the governor's lead. Despite Governor John Bel Edwards making a New Year's Eve a state holiday, city employees won't get the day off. The Bossier Council, in a 1-6 vote, rejected a proposal to make Monday, December 31st, a city holiday. It's that time of year when businesses start having holiday parties, and they have the potential to go horrifically wrong if things get out of hand or the company does a poor job of planning. National Federation of Small Business State Director Dawn Starnes says harassment awareness is at an all-time high, so don't incentivize inappropriate behavior.
Don't hang the mistletoe. It's kind of one of those things you don't need to encourage any kind of activity with that, even though it might be fun decoration.
She also recommends hiring Ubers for your employees if alcohol will be involved. A burned murder victim has been identified. Tawfiq Galbabi has been identified as the man found in the middle of a brush fire on Murphy Street, December 31st. He was identified after family members came forward with evidence for ID. Police still investigating the crime as a homicide. A man found guilty of assaulting an officer, Andre Bell, convicted for attempting to run over a Shreveport police sergeant following a robbery at Sam's Town Casino. During Bell's high-speed getaway, he hit several cars and tried to run over the officer. After diving out of the way, the officer fired several shots at Bell, striking him in the shoulder. Officers arrested Bell after he wrecked his car a few blocks away. George H.W. Bush will be buried today at his family plot at College Station. He'll be alongside Barbara Bush, his wife of 73 years, and Robin Bush, the daughter they lost to leukemia at age 3. His body is now at a Houston church where mourners are paying last respects.
It's a celebration of a life well lived, and I think that it's as you look back on his life, as people are looking back this week, that it's really a celebration and a looking just for how well that he lived, and I think that's what people are really remembering most this week.
On Wednesday, the country said goodbye to the 41st president in a national funeral service. Google's self-driving car spinoff hitting the road for real. Waymo's rolled out a small-scale ride-hailing service, but it's only in the Phoenix area for now. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Ten past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic update. Ruben's ready.
The intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884. You look focused down there. What you doing?
Well, I'm having a conversation with Brian Crawford, the CAO of the city, trying to get him on to talk about the garbage situation. But he's got he's got appointments the next two segments.
The alleged garbage situation, the rumored garbage situation. We'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. But first, I need your attention down here.
Okay.
This is a story I've been meaning to tell you for a couple of days.
This is the ghost story or the angel story?
Just listen to this, because you've seen a lot of crazy stuff in 22 years, doing ghost hunting, and some of the stories you've heard, hell, some of the things you've seen. People don't. Some of the things you saw when we were doing ghost hunting on 94.5 and then KVKI, we tell people, and they literally don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we lived it.
Oh, absolutely.
And they just look at us and go, trust us on this. We saw it.
You know, I would have been a skeptic, major skeptic, until some of the stuff I saw.
Okay. So Brooke, who's down in the business office, whom you know very well.
You bet.
And she is, not to give away secrets, she's almost 40 years old. So this happened when she was 19, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And she is originally from Hemp Hill, Texas, down southwest of here a little bit.
Right.
And this happened when she was 19, and she's coming home one night, and it's raining, and it's dark, and the weather is just awful. And it's a 4-lane road, and she's in the right lane going, and the tire blows up. I mean, boom. And she swerves off the road, goes off an overpass, goes through a street light like a light pole, and ends up crashing into a bunch of trees. She's going about 60 miles an hour, obviously, and ends up crashing into a bunch of trees in the woods. And she told me about this, and I said, well, what do you remember about that? I mean, specifically remember. And she says, I remember the noise of the tire. And then I remember being carried, a man carrying me. Now, let me just don't get ahead of yourself.
I wonder who he was.
So, okay. So it's dark. It's raining. The weather's horrible. A lady who coincidentally, by the grace of God, is a nurse, is driving down the highway. And she sees Brooke's car in the woods. And she pulls over, and she's the first car to pull over. And she gets out of the car, her car, and she sees a man coming out of the woods carrying Brooke.
This woman saw the man.
And the guy is carrying Brooke from her car. Remember, this is 1997, 98. There's no cell phones.
Right.
You're basically in the middle of nowhere in a rainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guy carries Brooke to the back seat of the woman, the nurse's car.
Yeah.
Sets her into the back seat. The nurse, being a nurse, starts sort of, for lack of a better term, triage there in her car. And in effect saved Brooke's life. Her left arm was just, they almost had to amputate later. I mean, she was a mess.
Wow.
So as she is working on Brooke to stabilize her, to stop bleeding, to do all the things, the best she can do to stabilize the situation so she can, in the middle of this storm, in the middle of the night, to drive her to a nearby hospital about 10 miles away. She looks around, and the man's gone.
Okay.
There was no car. The man is gone.
He's in a house next door.
20 years later, Brooke was telling me that she and this woman, because of that situation, have remained friends.
Wow.
She said for 20 years, you know how many people live in Hemp Hill, Texas? Maybe 1,500. Maybe 1,500. For nearly 20 years, they have been trying to find this guy.
And can't find him.
Nope.
And there's no houses nearby.
Guy carried her out of the woods. Brooke says, I remember the car. I remember the tire exploding. Bam! I remember kind of going through the air. I remember a man carrying me to the car. No other cars on the scene. Man carries her out of the woods. Brooke believes it was an angel. This lady, the nurse, 20 years later, she believes the same thing. I'm just telling you. There's 1,500 people, maybe, in Hemp Hill, Texas.
Wow.
Neither of them nor anybody else has ever been able to find the guy. Track down a guy who fits the description of this guy.
Oh, my goodness.
Was there, just vanished.
Oh, wow.
I just wanted to pass that along because I know you.
Incredible.
I know you love stories like that.
Yeah.
Go talk to her later.
I will. Definitely.
I mean, the only reason she brought it up with me was because I was talking to my brother about his knee replacement, or talking to her about my brother's knee replacement, and she said, well, I got a piece of metal in my body too. I said, what? She says, I've got this pipe in my arm. I said, pipe? And then she told me the story, and that led to the story about the guy carrying her out of the woods. who's never been found.
That is incredible.
17 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Yes'm.
If you don't know yet, Bill Joyce is going to join us in the 8 o'clock hour. Going to tie him to the chair. We just get to chat with Bill Joyce.
Now, we are having a couple of phone issues.
We are.
We are trying to, remedy those. And as a result, as soon as we can fix all that stuff up, track down CAO Brian Crawford to talk about, we'll talk about that next anyway, one way or the other, Brian or no.
Right.
What happened yesterday? The sanitation workers are on, and everybody, both mayoral candidates blaming the other. This is kind of awesome. This is exactly what you were hoping for, WWE, in the last week of the mayor's race.
I don't know.
And supposedly Stephen Wagas back from Louisiana Association
I'm going to go kick the phones back there.
of
and see if I
Business
can
and
fix them.
Industry
Yeah.
should be joining us at about 7:40. In the meantime, traffic update. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Hearn Avenue and Greenwood Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive just north of Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Twenty past 7 o'clock, time for Keel Sports. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. It's been quite a week for the football-playing Ferguson brothers. Last week, NSU wide receiver Jazz Ferguson was named the Southland Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Wednesday, older brother Jalen Ferguson, a senior defensive end for Louisiana Tech, was named Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year, the first Bulldog to earn the honor since Tech joined Conference USA in 2013. Ferguson set the school and conference record with 42.5 sacks so far with the Hawaii Bowl to play. He has 1.5 sacks from tying Terrell Suggs for the NCAA record. The Pelicans roasted the Mavericks in New Orleans 132-106 Wednesday night. Julius Randle and Anthony Davis each scored 27 points. Randle scooped up 18 rebounds, while Davis dished out a career-best 9 assists. And Arkansas won for the sixth straight time since opening the year with a loss. The Razorbacks beat Colorado State on the road 98-74. Jalen Harris had a career-high 12 assists, while future lottery pick Daniel Gafford scored 9 of his 12 points in the second half. Lakeview Gator alum Adrio Bailey finished with 10 points and 6 rebounds for the Hogs. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Oh, my gosh. Sorry, did I overreact? It's what people did yesterday. So there were these rumors. Trust me, it's not true. Rumors yesterday that all the sanitation workers, all the Shreveport sanitation workers, no, we're leaving. We're walking out. And it's because, wait a second. What happened yesterday? You started getting emails and texts at about like 8:45 or 9.
Yeah.
What did they say? From whom did they originate?
Well, I'm not going to say from whom.
Let me ask you this. You're getting texts, emails yesterday that literally say, Shreveport sanitation workers are walking off the job. Would it be fair to say, and this is, you got to split hairs here, and it's very important. Would it be fair to say that the first mention of this rumor that turned out to be untrue, that the first mention...
Well, that's not untrue.
That the first mention of this came from persons not affiliated with the Perkins campaign, but opponents of the mayor?
No.
Did they
These
come
people
from,
are neutral.
Did they come from allies? Nobody is neutral in this. Come on now.
Well, I mean...
Be ye not naive.
It came from not people that are I've seen at either of their parties. It came from people that were at neither party, who just are involved in government.
Who heard this story, which turned out to... Look, when you get a text, when you get an email that says, Shreveport sanitation workers are walking off the job, and that anything short of that is obviously an exaggeration. So what really happened?
Well, what it depends on who you believe, but some have said that 12 out of 32 trucks did not roll on Tuesday, I guess.
Right.
The mayor's office says 5 or 6 trucks did not run. Some workers called in sick on Monday and Tuesday, which meant if you don't have enough people to man the trucks can't roll, which means those trucks that are rolling have to do double duty to pick up the trash. And Wednesday is a non-pickup day, so what they did yesterday was they used that as a day to catch up.
So what is true is that a number of Shreveport sanitation workers called in sick on Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday, apparently.
Monday and
2
Tuesday.
days, yeah.
So why did they do that? It when you say it depends on who you believe, who are they and who are they on both sides blaming? Who are the two sides?
Well, here's a statement from the mayor's office, okay? Some employees called in sick and did not show up for work earlier this week, causing a shortage of trucks to be in use for Tuesday's collection. Public Works Management believes these actions were encouraged and politically motivated. I appreciate the majority of dedicated solid waste employees who did show up for work this week and demonstrated that public service is a priority over politics. That's from the mayor.
What is the mayor's office saying, and I assume this is like a statement from the mayor. So is the mayor's office saying politically motivated? What explain to me what you think that means.
Well, in a statement, I think she spoke with folks at the Times and KTBS. She said that someone wearing an Adrian Perkins T-shirt encouraged some sanitation workers to call in sick, and that it may be tied to his campaign.
So somebody wearing, according to the mayor, somebody wearing an Adrian Perkins T-shirt went to the garbage truck facility and
I'm
said...
not sure where they went. They asked for a meeting, I know.
Well, the supposedly, allegedly, this mystery man is a former employee who was telling everybody that as soon as Adrian gets in office, I'm going to be your new boss, so let's make sure this woman doesn't win the election, so let's all strike. That was the accusation and story that was being...
Is that the inference you take from the mayor's statement?
To say politically motivated, it's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. And you're 2 days from an election. I was very skeptical of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, this sounds really fishy.
So what was the response from the Perkins campaign?
Perkins said he had nothing to do with it. That sanitation workers did ask to meet with him. and he does want to hear their concerns and complaints, but he said in no way did he ask or urge or encourage anyone to call in sick or go on strike.
Sounds to me you're starting to get those the dirty politics you were hoping for. Let's throw some haymakers. Let's get down and dirty. You said that. Could it get down and dirty the last 3 or 4 days? Sounds to me like you may be getting your wish.
Maybe.
And it's only Thursday.
Yeah.
Got a day and a half to go.
Oh, boy.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, 28 past 7 o'clock. Your money now is about 20 minutes away, of course, presented by Barksdale Federal Credit Union. Yes, ma'am.
Our crews are out Houghton, right in front of Brookshire's Operation Santa Claus. If you can drive by and donate a new unwrapped toy, we'd appreciate it. We'll hear from them in just a couple of minutes.
Traffic and weather coming up in just a couple of seconds. Erin has local news up next on Keel. .101.7 FM, 710 Keel, and the Keel app from Office Furniture Source. Traffic time. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
The nation paused to remember George H.W. Bush. And we pause again today, the former president to be buried today at his family plot on the Presidential Library grounds at Texas A&M University in College Station. His body is now in a Houston church where they'll have a family service today. Thousands of people have lined up in Houston to view the casket while it's there.
Honored to be here. It's just exciting. And we knew that it was a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's historical. It's just cool.
On Wednesday, the country said goodbye to the 41st president and national funeral service at Washington National Cathedral. Trash troubles in Shreveport. City leaders say trash pickup was delayed this week because 15 or so workers called in sick Monday and Tuesday. However, Mayor Tyler doesn't think this was coincidence. She believes the move was politically motivated. The mayor telling the Shreveport Times a former sanitation worker who was wearing an Adrian Perkins for Mayor shirt convinced employees to not show up for work in an attempt to make the mayor look bad before the election. Perkins says he would never ask or authorize anyone to do such a thing. Bossier City won't be following the governor's lead. Matt Parker has that.
Despite Governor John Bell Edwards making New Year's Eve a state holiday, city employees in Bossier won't get the day off. The Bossier City Council, in a 1-6 vote, rejected a proposal to make December 31st a city holiday. Council members said that if City Hall shuts down, it would send a negative message to taxpayers in the community. However, Mayor Lo Walker says that he was in favor of giving employees off, acknowledging that Bossier doesn't pay the highest wages, and then an extra day off is like a bonus for employees. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Saturday, some areas in Bossier Parish will vote on 5 propositions that will end, maintain, or expand alcohol sales. The move to get the items on the ballot came when businesses such as Brookshire's, located in some parts of the parish, and wanted to sell liquor. Mary Barra, the CEO of GM, came to Capitol Hill telling lawmakers why the company is cutting some 14,000 jobs. Edward Lawrence of the Fox Business Network reports from Washington.
This issue has unified Republicans and Democrats. Senator Rob Portman from Ohio says that he asked Barra if she could move new technology cars into the plant in Ohio.
Just as the workforce has stood with General Motors over the years, we expect General Motors now to stand with this workforce and give them a chance. We've talked a lot about the possibility of bringing another product to the plant.
Barra says the restructuring is necessary for the survival of GM.
President Trump's been threatening to cut subsidies to GM if they go through with the layoffs. A burned murder victim identified, Tawfiq Gobahi's been identified as the man found in the middle of a brush fire on Murphy Street December 1st. Gobby was identified after family members came forward with evidence for identification, police investigating the crime as a homicide. Man found guilty of assaulting an officer, Andre Bell convicted for attempting to run over a Shreveport police sergeant following a robbery at Sam's Town Casino. The Pantone Color Institute out with its annual color of the year. It's living coral. You'd be better off looking at the color than trying to figure it out based on description. Some say it's like the sky at dusk, kind of orangey gold you see as night begins to fall. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Author, artist, writer, multimedia megalodon.
Talent out the wazoo.
William Joyce joins us just after 8 o'clock.
You forgot one key thing in that intro.
He can dance?
Academy Award winner, man.
Yeah.
100% right.
I groped his trophy.
100% right. What was the fella's
I
name?
gotta phrase that
What was the fella's name? It's an alliterative name, one of his assistants. The only thing I can think of is Burt Breathitt, but that was the Bloom County guy, and I know that's not right.
He brought his trophy in, yeah.
And he brought the Oscar in for us to see. And I told you the story that one night that my nephew Brad and I were at the old wine country, at the old location. And Mr. Bill and this assistant whose name eludes me were sitting at the bar, having a glass of wine and chatting. And you could tell they were talking work, and I think I told you this, in about every 90 seconds or so, Bill would take a pad, like about the size, a small notebook, like the palm of your hand size, and he would take it out of his coat pocket, and he would jot notes down, and he would draw stuff, and Brad and I were there for about 30 or 45 minutes watching this. And at one point, Mr. Bill holds up the notebook to his assistant and says, "Do you kind of think is this what we're looking for?"
Man.
And his assistant goes, That's exactly what we want.
Yeah.
He had whatever they were drawing, and I don't know what character or what they were working on, but he had just whipped it out right there. He had just put it all together on this little notepad. I said to Brad, I tell you what, I'll create a diversion.
Yeah.
While they're all watching me, you grab that notebook. We can have it on eBay in 90 minutes.
Brandon Oldenburg.
It is priceless. What was his name? No.
Brandon Oldenburg.
That's the other guy.
Oh,
We're
is
talking
it?
about one of his assistants who's here.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a BB name, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Brandon Oldenburg is the guy that, his partner.
Yeah.
You want to do...
You're going to steal from Bill Joyce.
Oh, yeah, in a heartbeat. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I want you to pat him down when he comes in.
Oh,
You
should
create
I?
the diversion. I'll grab the
He
notebook.
might have a notepad on him, yeah.
Would be awesome.
Oh, man.
Operation Santa Claus, where is everybody today?
They are in front of Brookshire's in Houghton, and they need your help with new unwrapped toys.
And on location, here's Erin Bristol.
Thank you so much, Robert and Erin. It's Bristol for Operation Santa Claus, and we're in Houghton this morning in front of the Brookshires on Highway 80, and we're making it really easy for you to make Christmas bright for a child right here in our area. We want to spread the magic and the spirit of the season, so stop by with either a monetary donation or a new unwrapped toy, because we want to make sure that no child goes without this year. And if you bring me the equivalent of a $50 donation this morning, I'm going to hook you up. I've got your tickets to The Price is Right Live with Jerry Springer this weekend at the Horseshoe River Dome. I've got your Christmas in Roseland passes. I've even got Gladys Knight tickets. So make sure you come see us this morning. It's Operation Santa Claus here until 9 in front of the Brookshires in Houghton.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel, traffic update. Hello, Ruben.
The intersection at North Spring Street and East Stoner Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM and 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Yes, what?
I'm just trying. There's just so much going on right
No,
now.
there's nothing going on. The phones are broken.
Our phones are dead. We're planning to have Stephen Waggus back from lobby. He said he's calling in. He's getting a busy signal.
Louisiana Association of Business and Industry wanted to talk about the John Kennedy announcement, some other odds and ends.
Brian Crawford was going to join us to talk trash.
Yeah, literally.
And but in studio coming up after 8 o'clock, so we can tie him to the chair.
You keep
is
saying that. It's kind of creepy.
Bill Joyce.
Yeah, exactly.
Oscar winner. He's a local legend. He's hilarious. I can't wait to just shoot with him. I really can.
Shoot the breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Can we shoot the breeze? Is that okay?
Sure.
I know we can't kill two birds with one stone anymore.
It can't be the straw that broke the camel's back. You can't beat a dead horse.
No, you can't bring home the bacon.
PETA's all upset.
PETA says all those phrases
need
to go away.
They want you to grab the flower by the thorns now.
Oh, man.
No, they really do. I mean,
they do.
It's about as lame could get.
I want you to bring home the bagel.
Can I say lame? Okay. So, in Mr. Stephen Wagaspack's stead, we talked to Moon Griffon a couple of days ago about the announcement that John Kennedy was going to pass on his opportunity, at least this time, to run for governor of Louisiana. Hold on just a second. Because originally, all Mr. John did was release the statement, said, kind of happy being a senator. I'm staying. Kennedy says it was a tough choice on governor's race. Did you see this story yesterday? Kennedy says it was a tough choice on governor's race. Trump asked him to stay in Senate.
Really?
United States Senator John Kennedy said Wednesday that he agonized. Parky, that was in fact what both Moon and Congressman Mike Johnson said about that, wasn't it? As a matter of fact, I think we have the Moon cut here from Tuesday when you were gone. And we had Moon on the phone. And we asked him specifically, what do you know about this Kennedy announcement? What have you heard? And he said, I said, were you surprised? And he said, yes and no. And he offered up, Moon Griffon did, this little tidbit of John Kennedy information.
But here's I got a call privately about 6 weeks ago. And it was a guy that I got a lot of respect for. There's a lot of connections in Washington. And he told me, he said, don't be surprised if Kennedy doesn't run. I said, well, the word is I got he's running. And he said, well, here's the problem. And this is where I think we go back to it, is that the Republicans in Washington, D.C., put John on these good committees. You saw him. You get the one-liners. He's all over the news. He was on that Judiciary Committee. And they wanted him to stay. They put pressure. I think overall they won by getting him to stay.
Evidently, part of that pressure, as Senator John Kennedy has in virtually no time at all, just a couple of years into a 6-year term, is gaining status, is gaining notoriety, is gaining power. He's on both the Appropriations and Judicial Committee. And basically, he's become the guy. He is the face of the Republican Party. He's the guy who goes into the lion's den.
He's the poster boy. All these media outlets love him.
Well, the ones who love him the most, I started to say, Mr. John goes into the lion's den. He's the one that goes on CNN a couple times a week and bats them around like the straw that broke the camel's back. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is they love him on CNN because he is instant ratings. And he goes on there and they throw all this nasty, ugly, we hate Republican stuff at him. And he just leans back and gives them that good old boy Andy Griffith down home Mayberry comeback.
Don't talk bad about my mama.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he is ratings gold.
Yeah.
And as the Republican hierarchy realizes, he does a hell of a good job in getting out the message.
Mm-hmm.
Senator John Kennedy said Wednesday he agonized over his decision to not run for Louisiana governor next year, making his choice only hours before his announcement, even after receiving a personal entreaty from President Donald Trump to stay in the Senate. When you hear that there's powerful Republicans on the phone think you should stay in the Senate, and one of them happens to be the president, you might give it an ounce or two of credibility.
Yeah, you might.
I was very uncertain until Sunday, Kennedy said. I just finally decided there's not going to be any right or wrong answer. I just decided to go with my gut. I'm at peace with my decision. I think I made the right one for me and my family and my state. It was ultimately my decision and mine alone, Kennedy said, and I agonized over it, for a good long while. Story wraps up. Once he settled against a gubernatorial bid, Kennedy said he handwrote his announcement statement. He emailed it to staff. You heard what Mike Johnson said.
Mm-hmm.
What Mr. Mike told us on Tuesday, you were out. He said, not only was I surprised, he and I had talked about it at length, about his running for governor just a couple of days before. He said, I bluntly put, Mike said, in fact, what he said in a text later might not be the most prescient thing to say. A consultant, this is Mike's words now, a consultant might not say this was a good idea, but he said, we all thought the guy was in.
Yeah.
He, Kennedy, emailed it to staff for recommended changes, then told them to send it out Monday morning. He said he didn't call anybody, no Republican official, no other politician, no colleagues, hence Mike Johnson and a number of other close colleagues being in the dark, so to speak, instead letting everyone find out at once when the public statement was issued.
Man.
Which, of course, leaves it wide open.
Wide open. Who's going to do it now?
I don't know. Is there a public... I got to tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if, give it about 60 to 90 days, maybe a little less, if Jeff Landry thinks about getting back in.
Changes his mind?
If Jeff Landry thinks about getting back in. I would not be the least
That'd be interesting.
bit surprised. 749, 1017 FM, 710 Keel, and experts are saying already to the contrary. 749, traffic and weather updates coming up right now. Your Money Now, just a couple of seconds away, presented by Barksdale Federal Credit Union. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping an eye on that slow-moving traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. And we have some backed-up traffic on Benton Road near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Here's your Keel AccuWeather. Here's your Keel Weather Channel forecast. Kind of sunny and cool again today. High today in the middle 50s. Right now 42 at Keel. Happy 750. It is time for Your Money Now. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Jay Wright and Erin McCarty. Just in case he missed it the first time, I think you should go out of your way to tell the story about your elder son and what he wants to name.
Yeah, well, my son is the third. He's the third.
In other words,
third.
his dad
blah,
is
blah, blah.
junior.
His dad is junior.
Okay, he's blah,
the
blah,
third.
blah, the third.
So we joke about, are you going to name a son the fourth? Blah, 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 the fourth. And he said, yeah. And I said, well, what's your nickname? Because I have a nickname for my son. I call him Dub. And like W is his middle name, so I call him Dub.
Right.
And so I said, well, what are you going to call your son if he's the fourth?
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to call him Four. I said, you cannot call your son Four.
Now, wait
He'll
a
think
second.
he's perpetually on a golf course. Four.
No,
Four.
because I know a lot of people who are the third, or they name their sons so-and-so the third, and they call them Trey.
I do not want my grandson to be called Four.
How outrageous is it that they would refer to him as four, or maybe even, what did Matt suggest?
Quad.
I vote quad.
Quad.
I'm not calling my grandson Quad. By the way, I'm not expecting a grandchild. I'm just saying, in the event this happens, my son wants his son to be the fourth, but he wants to call him Four. I got to talk him out of that. Four. Oh, there's a golf ball about to hit me. He's going to perpetually think he's at Quirby's.
You know, if we tell this story enough, he will eventually hear it, and maybe he will, as the phrase goes, smell the coffee.
Please.
Or grab the bagel by the horns, or
Can't
whatever,
do- yeah, you can't
whatever
do
Peter
that.
wants now.
Yeah.
7:56, Mr. Bill Joyce joins us in studio just after 8 o'clock. Lots to talk about there, because he's got a lot of, as usual, irons in the fire. Can I say that?
Can we say it? Yeah.
7:56, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Sean Hannity.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
We know that James Clapper lied to Congress. January 19, 2018, USA Today article, headline, James Clapper lies to Congress. We have The Guardian pointing out CIA Director Brennan lied to Congress. We have a New York Post article from 2017, Loretta Lynch lied to Congress. We have a Washington Examiner piece, James Comey lied to Congress. We have either James Comey or Loretta Lynch, it's a town hall piece, again lying to Congress. Eric Holder lied to Congress. Lois Lerner, Washington Times, lied to Congress. U.S. Treasury Secretary Jack Lew under the Obama administration lied to Congress about a key part of the Iranian deal. I don't see any of these people going through the treatment that General Flynn has gone through in the last year.
The Conservative Underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey, if you or a loved one struggles with leg or foot cramps, you've got to try TheraWorks Relief. Now, this non-greasy foam is proven to relieve muscle cramps fast, and with daily use, TheraWorks Relief can prevent muscle cramps. So that means you can get a full night's sleep or do the activities you love without any worry. TheraWorks Relief is my choice for preventing and relieving muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today in the pain relief aisle at Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, or just go to the website TheraWorksRelief.com.
Mesothelioma kills. It has taken lives, destroyed families, and ruined childhoods. We need to take action immediately. The Mesothelioma Patient Registry Act of 2017 would create a patient registry for researchers. Cancer and ALS have it. Meso researchers need it too. We need to find a cure for this devastating disease. For more information on this bipartisan bill, visit iSaveTeam.org. That's iSaveTeam.org.
If Shreveport Bossier is talking about it, so are we. 101.7 FM and 710 Keel.
Hey, this is State Fire Marshal Bush Brownlee. Shreveport and Bossier are lucky to have Robert and Erin each morning. In-depth coverage of big stories that matter to the community.
We are Keel. 101.7 FM and 710 Keel.
Still keeping an eye on that slow-moving traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. And we have some backed-up traffic on Benton Road near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news.
Just after 8 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Down yonder, Miss Erin has local news in a second or two. What's up?
We are talking trash this morning, and is it politically motivated? Has the Grinch stepped in to run Bossier City? We'll talk about that, too. And if you're going to a holiday party, ooh, you better mind your P's and Q's.
Kind of like this. Shreveport's multimedia legend and Oscar winner, Mr. William Joyce, joins us in a couple of seconds. He's got a lot going on and lots to talk about.
His brain doesn't tick like our brains.
Well, not many people's brains work like your brain.
You got a point, yeah.
And which is why, well, never mind. We'll cover this when we talk.
Leave my brain out of this.
Thank heavens. You do every day. Plus, Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's here on KEEL.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Trash troubles in Shreveport politically motivated? Matt Parker takes a look.
According to the city of Shreveport, trash pickup was delayed this week due to 15 or so workers calling in sick Monday and Tuesday. However, Mayor Ollie Tyler doesn't think this was coincidence. She believes the move was politically motivated. The mayor told the Shreveport Times that a former sanitation worker who was wearing an Adrian Perkins for Mayor shirt convinced the employees to not show up for work in an attempt to make the mayor look bad before the election. Adrian Perkins says he would never ask or authorize anyone to do such a thing. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Another election note today, a vote on alcohol sales could cost jobs in Bossier. Saturday, some areas in Bossier Parish will vote on 5 propositions that would end, maintain, or expand alcohol sales. The move to get the items on the ballot came when businesses such as Brookshire's, located in some parts of the parish, wanted to sell liquor. However, many businesses are worried the vote may force them to go out of business. Bossier City won't follow the governor's lead. Despite Governor John Bel Edwards making a New Year's Eve a state holiday, city employees won't get the day off. The Bossier Council, in a 1-6 vote, rejected a proposal to make Monday, December 31st, a city holiday. It's that time of year when businesses start having holiday parties, and they have the potential to go horrifically wrong if things get out of hand or the company does a poor job of planning. National Federation of Small Business State Director Dawn Starnes says harassment awareness is at an all-time high, so don't incentivize inappropriate behavior.
Don't hang the mistletoe. It's kind of one of those things you don't need to encourage any kind of activity with that, even though it might be fun decoration.
She also recommends hiring Ubers for your employees if alcohol will be involved. A burned murder victim has been identified. Tawfiq Galbabi has been identified as the man found in the middle of a brush fire on Murphy Street, December 31st. He was identified after family members came forward with evidence for ID. Police still investigating the crime as a homicide. A man found guilty of assaulting an officer, Andre Bell, convicted for attempting to run over a Shreveport police sergeant following a robbery at Samstown Casino. During Bell's high-speed getaway, he hit several cars and tried to run over the officer. After diving out of the way, the officer fired several shots at Bell, striking him in the shoulder. Officers arrested Bell after he wrecked his car a few blocks away. George H.W. Bush will be buried today at his family plot at College Station. He'll be alongside Barbara Bush, his wife of 73 years, and Robin Bush, the daughter they lost to leukemia at age 3. His body is now at a Houston church where mourners are paying last respects.
It's a celebration of a life well lived, and I think that it's as you look back on his life, as people are looking back this week, that it's really a a celebration and a looking just for how well that he lived. And I think that's what people are really remembering most this week.
On Wednesday, the country said goodbye to the 41st president in a national funeral service. Google's self-driving car spinoff hitting the road for real. Waymo's rolled out a small-scale ride-hailing service, but it's only in the Phoenix area for now. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Nine past 8 o'clock, time for KEEL traffic. Thursday morning stuff. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping an eye on that slow-moving traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. And we have some backed-up traffic on Benton Road near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. The KEEL app is always a free download from Office Furniture Source. You know, you've been trying to pull this one off for about, 3 or 4 or 5 yeyears or something like that?
We've had him on the phone, but
Yeah,
we haven't been able to tie him to the chair in the studio yet.
In studio is Mr. William Joyce. Just if you had a business card, and you strike me as the kind of man who does not, if you had a business card, what would it say? Writer, artist, multimedia, megalodon.
I like megalodon.
I like megalodon
But it doesn't
a
even
lot.
have to be multimedia. Just say megalodon.
When you started, when you first started to have the success that you've had, which would be what, 1980, early 90s, perhaps?
You know, I had my first art show here when I was 16 years old, and it
Really?
sold out, and I got a bunch of money when I was 16 and had my first bank account. So I've been doing this for a while.
When you first started, when the books started to come out, when the movie people started to come to you, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Did you ever in your wildest dreams and or fantasies, and I would imagine those are some nutty ones, did you ever expect that the media in which you create would be like it is today with the computers and the digital and the CG, et cetera?
It's something I had hoped for. I mean, because it was like you could see it on the horizon, even like when I was back in the 80s, in the early 80s. I followed what Pixar was doing before anybody basically knew who they were. And so I was like, this looks cool. And then out of the blue, John Lasseter, the founder of Pixar, called me, looked my number up in, directory assistance in 1991, maybe.
Wow.
And he had my book, Dinosaur Bob, and he said, I really love your stuff, and I'd love for you to work with us. We're thinking about doing Dinosaur Bob as our first movie, or this other thing we're calling Toy Story.
Whoa.
And I was like, wait, are you the guy? I think I've read about you, but I'm not sure if you're the same guy. Can you send me your stuff? And so he sent me VHS tapes of their 3 short films that they'd done, Luxor Jr., Knick Knack, and Tin Toy. And Tin Toy had won the Oscar. And I immediately was like, yes, I would love to work with you guys. This is what I've been waiting for. So I saw it a little earlier than most people, but not like it wasn't like I was a Swami or anything and was seeing into the future in a crystal ball. But I had a hint of what was coming, and it's turned out to be more of a game changer than I initially thought. But now I just think of it as a new set of paints. We just have new tools to do cool stuff.
So that being the case, you said I kind of saw this coming. Not that I was a Swami. So Swami, what do you see? You're still a relatively young man. There's no reason you couldn't work another 25, 30 years or more.
I better. I owe money.
What's the next thing? What, in the same way that you looked at CG and some of the things that are now reality, what do you look at now and say, this board, this canvas, this easel is constricting. I wish we could blank.
All right. Boy, okay. Let me sim salabim. What do I see? I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen with virtual reality that will be interesting. I've worked in it some. I find it limiting. And it's an experience that's so intense, I don't know if it's something that can be maintained over a long period of time, how many hours you can be in that world. It may be that I'm just being an old fogey. But there's also, I've seen some virtual reality stuff that was just absolutely devastatingly amazing. But it was, like I said, kind of shorter. Because you are so emotionally involved in it. You feel like you are there.
I'm not trying to get way off track here.
Yeah.
But and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. Are you saying that at some point AI and virtual reality could really screw up some young people?
Well, it probably already is. Young people are just ready to be screwed up, so it doesn't take much. There's a lot out there now. There's little hints of things that are becoming available, but it's going to become a different way of storytelling, and that's the cool stuff I've seen. Is people that have taken virtual reality and made a compelling emotional narrative out of it, that you are part of the action. That's what's interesting. But they've built it in a way that you're sort of passively a part of the action, and you see things that just sort of, you get involved in a story in a way that you don't when you're just watching a flat screen. But I don't know if it's something that can maintain something at feature length, or what. But also I think the future I would love. I'll tell you the future I would love. And that is that we will have shows like Ozark and streaming and things like that are almost like novels in a way. It's like experiencing a novel, but without reading it, you're seeing it. And that we will go to theaters and see them. And we will have the option not just to sit in our houses and watch and binge watch, say, Ozark, but we can go to a theater, because it's still to me, it's so much more powerful to sit in a movie theater than it is to watch something on television at home. You pay more attention at the movies, and it's bigger.
Talking to Bill Joyce, you've got a new book out.
Yeah.
Jack Frost, The End is the Beginning.
Yep.
A book signing is coming up Saturday, Barnes & Noble, 2:00. People can meet you. Tell us about this book. I'm hearing that people are actually really getting into these characters.
Well, after the film came out, The Rise of the Guardians, I'd done several of these Guardians books, including a Jack Frost book, a picture book. There's five novels that go in this series called Rise of the Guardians. And so Jack Frost is the last one of those novels, and it's the longest novel I've written. It's 400 and some odd pages. And it talks about the origins of Jack Frost. Well, when Rise of the Guardians, the film came out 6 years ago, Jack became the sort of breakout star in animation of that film. And there are now all these people that embrace these characters in a lifestyle kind of way. It's called cosplay. You know, they are costume players. They dress up as these characters. So there's thousands of people out there that dress up as Jack Frost.
Good Lord, man, what have you done?
I know. Sometimes I'm like, I've ruined all these lives. And, you know, and they dress up as all the other characters. And then they've come up with fictional lives for them. And, you know, reams, massive, more than I could ever write about these people. And they imagine them hanging out with the other animated characters. So Jack is part of what they call the Big Four. He hangs out with the main character Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon, the girl from Frozen. No, excuse me, that's a whole different thing. The girl from Brave, Rapunzel from Tangled, and the four of them hang out in this fan fiction world, and these people dress up as them, and they go and have adventures of their own. But he is the beloved in the most, probably the biggest fan base of all, of the people who worship Elsa from Frozen. Desperately want Jack Frost and Elsa to get together.
I want that.
I do too. And they call it Jelsa.
Jelsa would be great. Bill, can I ask you a question? You may not want
hold it till we come back. Can you? We got to take a break.
Let me write it down because it might offend him, but
well, then it will give you time to reconsider.
No, I'm going to ask it. I'm going to ask it.
More with Mr. William Joyce is on the way. 19 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben, traffic update.
Intersection at Line Avenue and Piermont Road dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we're still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic on Benton Road southbound near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty in studio for a bit longer is Mr. William Joyce, Oscar winner, etc. His new book is called Jack Frost, The End is the Beginning. In fact, the press release we got, hey, Erin, got a badass new book out. Jack Frost, The End is the Beginning. And your book signing is at Barnes & Noble.
Yes.
Shreveport's Barnes & Noble. Is it Saturday?
This Saturday, yes.
What time is that going to be, by the way?
It will start at 2 o'clock, and I will stay there till I'm done.
That's people lining up already.
They'll be dressed up. It'll be so cool.
So back to you.
Here's my question.
Oh,
I don't want to offend you.
Oh, goody.
What's wrong with your brain? Your brain and my brain don't act. You have a brain that I'm envious of, and abilities to do things that I'm like, man, I don't even have the concept of what this guy thinks about, probably.
I will have to agree with you, sweetheart. I mean, it alarms me from time to time.
Did you know it at a young age that you had a different gift?
Well, I think the teachers noticed. It's certainly when I got my school records back after I graduated and read things like odd child.
Okay, tell me something odd that you look back now. What
I signed all my school papers in the 4th grade, not as Bill Joyce, but as Secret Agent 007, licensed to kill.
Oh, we would get arrested now.
In this day and age.
I know.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I wanted to be James Bond when I grew up, and so I was like, well, why not just take the identity now and see if, what happens.
You said a couple of seconds ago, you said in the first segment that your first art show was at the age of 16.
Yeah. Yes.
Talk about that, the work that went into it when it happened. Were you surprised? I read a story, I read a John Lennon thing once that said, I knew from the age of 9 I was going to be amazing. Do you identify with that, or you go, nah, he's just talking?
Look, I started drawing. They'd say the family lore is that I was born with a pencil in my hand, which always sounded very painful for my mother, but
Oh, ow.
But I always drew and I always made up stories. And anything that was in it to this day, I mean, if you go to Cush's Grocery, you will see I draw on any flat surface that I can get away with. Right?
I've seen you. I told the story.
He tried to rob you.
You were.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I was going to create a diversion. Yeah, you sat there, and I forget the gentleman who came in the morning with the Oscar. What was his name? I forgot.
Oh. I thought it was Brandon, but maybe not.
No, it wasn't Brandon Oldenburg. No, that's
okay. Lampton.
God, and I think it was a BB name. It was an alliterative name, but I don't remember.
Bevan Blocker.
Yes, thank you.
That's it.
And all I can think of was Burt Breathed, but that's the Bloom County guy.
Right.
So you were at Wine Country one night with him, and you were just jotting down, and you were talking. I could tell you were talking work. You were down at the other end, and at one point you held up. You'd been just playing around on this notebook for about 20 minutes. And I apologize for eavesdropping, but you held up this drawing to him, and you said, is this what we need, or something to that effect? And he said, that's exactly what we want. And I'm thinking, I'm going to create a diversion. My nephew Brad is going to grab the book. We can have it on eBay by midnight.
So was this pornographic, or was it,
I
have no idea.
That's a different show.
Oh, sorry. Arslan.
Let me ask you this. What's the future hold for Moonbot? What can you tell us about, or is that coming back? I mean, I know you were hoping to.
There's some very exciting things that are about to happen, and I can't talk about it yet. But we're just days away from being able to announce something.
Does the business side
days away?
Does the business side of it? I don't want to say bring you down, but you know what I mean. I mean, do you have good people to take care of all that? I assume you do. You're not missing meals.
The business side is never my strong suit, though I know how to stretch a nickel pretty well. But I'm a creative guy, so that's where I prefer to put my energies. And film is a very expensive medium, and it's probably the most expensive other than architecture or something. I don't know. And so it costs a lot to do these things. It costs a lot to put it together. It costs a lot to just even present what you want a film to be. And that's what I'm looking to do in this next step, is develop ideas that I can bring to market and then make into films or television shows.
Moonbot's future in Shreveport?
Certainly, yes.
So there's no plan for Bill Joyce to up and move to LA or wherever. You want to be focused here still, correct?
Absolutely. But the thing is, I mean, and what I've learned even from the beginning of my career, that I can be here and I can be anywhere. I mean, I've always kept my home here. We've lived for periods of time in New York or Los Angeles or wherever the project kind of needed me for a little while. I've been in France a lot this year working on a project. And so it's always a place to come back to, but it's also, it's fun to go out and see the world, and there's a lot of work out there. But in truth, the way things have been moving and the way they're going to continue to move, it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you can contact talented people. You can contact them and work with them over the computer or any other method. You can send smoke signals or whatever, but it's you get in contact with creative, intelligent people, and you can do great work, and you don't all have to be in the same room. It's more fun if you are. And so at different points in the project, I will always do that. And
the state's tax structure for movie making, et cetera, and creativity.
Break time.
Oh, we got to take a break.
Yeah, we do.
Ooh, good. I have time to formulate an answer.
I want to hear his opinion about that.
You want to hear what?
I want to hear his opinion about that.
I got lots more artsy fartsy questions. Too.
Oh, I have more of those as well.
101, well, not in that order. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, 29 past 8 o'clock. Traffic update just ahead of local news. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Line Avenue and Piermont Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we're still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic on Benton Road southbound near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
The nation paused to remember George H.W. Bush. And we pause again today, the former president to be buried today at his family plot on the Presidential Library grounds at Texas A&M University in College Station. His body is now in a Houston church where they'll have a family service today. Thousands of people have lined up in Houston to view the casket while it's there.
Honored to be here. It's just exciting. And we knew that it was a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's historical. It's just cool.
On Wednesday, the country said goodbye to the 41st president and national funeral service at Washington National Cathedral. Trash troubles in Shreveport. City leaders say trash pickup was delayed this week because 15 or so workers called in sick Monday and Tuesday. However, Mayor Tyler doesn't think this was coincidence. She believes the move was politically motivated. The mayor telling the Shreveport Times a former sanitation worker who was wearing an Adrian Perkins for Mayor shirt convinced employees to not show up for work in an attempt to make the mayor look bad before the election. Perkins says he would never ask or authorize anyone to do such a thing. Bossier City won't be following the governor's lead. Matt Parker has that.
Despite Governor John Bell Edwards making New Year's Eve a state holiday, city employees in Bossier won't get the day off. The Bossier City Council, in a 1-6 vote, rejected a proposal to make December 31st a city holiday. Council members said that if City Hall shuts down, it would send a negative message to taxpayers in the community. However, Mayor Lo Walker says that he was in favor of giving employees off, acknowledging that Bossier doesn't pay the highest wages, and then an extra day off is like a bonus for employees. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Saturday, some areas in Bossier Parish will vote on 5 propositions that will end, maintain, or expand alcohol sales. The move to get the items on the ballot came when businesses such as Brookshire's, located in some parts of the parish, and wanted to sell liquor. Mary Barra, the CEO of GM, came to Capitol Hill telling lawmakers why the company is cutting some 14,000 jobs. Edward Lawrence of the Fox Business Network reports from Washington.
This issue has unified Republicans and Democrats. Senator Rob Portman from Ohio says that he asked Barra if she could move new technology cars into the plant in Ohio.
Just as the workforce has stood with General Motors over the years, we expect General Motors now to stand with this workforce and give them a chance. We've talked a lot about the possibility of bringing another product to the plant.
Barra says the restructuring is necessary for the survival of GM.
President Trump's been threatening to cut subsidies to GM if they go through with the layoffs. A burned murder victim identified, Tawfiq Gobahi's been identified as the man found in the middle of a brush fire on Murphy Street December 1st. Gobby was identified after family members came forward with evidence for identification. Police investigating the crime as a homicide. Man found guilty of assaulting an officer, Andre Bell convicted for attempting to run over a Shreveport police sergeant following a robbery at Samstown Casino. The Pantone Color Institute out with its annual color of the year. It's living coral. You'd be better off looking at the color than trying to figure it out based on description. Some say it's like the sky at dusk, kind of orangey gold you see as night begins to fall. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Citizens.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line is always 318-392-1884, and it always works. Oh, wait, that's another story for another time.
Yeah, it is.
In studio for a little bit longer is Mr. William Joyce, an Oscar, 6 Emmys. Okay, back to what you wanted to talk about.
Well, when he's talking about bringing Moonbot back, I'm excited to hear that news. But I wanted to ask you, you must follow the tax incentive program in the state. And we had it for a while. We pulled it. Where are we now? Is it good for this industry? Are we moving in the right direction?
We're moving in the right direction, and there can always be better. You know, Georgia is really kicking our ass, and they had a few years to catch up. You know, when we didn't have our act together, and it wasn't that there wasn't the political will. Well, there wasn't the political will, but we also had so much. I mean, the state was broke, so it was just tough. It was a tough sell. And basically it was like, we can close some hospitals or we can keep, the tax incentives for film around. And they've improved it, and they brought some of it back. They realized how much it damaged the industry that was really taking hold, and how much it just basically kind of went away. But I mean, there's a company in town right now, in Shreveport right now, making an animated short film, and they're having a great time. They're really enjoying the experience here and the work atmosphere, and I found like whenever we've brought people in, especially when we were doing Moonbot, and then for a number of projects after that, that people come here and they're always like, "God, I really like this place. I mean, it's really charming, and there's good food, and it's pretty, and it's not at all what I was expecting." And
boy.
I'm like, and it's easy for us sometimes get people to move here because, I mean, the quality of life you can have. You can buy a house, a really nice house, for not nearly as much money as you would in L.A. or San Francisco or New York. So,
Bill,
right?
Everybody, locals are so negative. We talk we degrade our city so much. Why?
you know, they've called it that since I was a kid. They call it Shreveport-itis. And there was a period of time about when Moonbot was really, flying high, where I felt like that was diminishing, where it was going away, where people were actually excited about the town. And the town does keep getting better. I mean, things keep happening. It doesn't happen as fast as we want it to, but if you go to other towns our size, you're going to be impressed. We've always done well, and we have a lot of art and a lot of, we have an opera, we have a ballet, we have a symphony, we have cool things to do, and it's just everybody has to just like get a grip. When I've had, movie stars come here, stay here for a while, work on a film, and talk about how much fun they had, what an interesting place they found this place to be, how charming they found it, how nice they found the people, how great they found the food. It's sort of like, can we just record that? Can we put this in a billboard,
Yes.
And people just need to just realize that this place needs to be itself and quit trying to be, say, Dallas or New Orleans. Shreveport's very good at being Shreveport. That's what it's best at. And if we can just support that, then everything will be fine.
Mr. William Joyce, more on the way. Want to talk about your new book, Jack Frost, The End is the Beginning, kind of the inspiration for that and what it's like to do the same characters again and again. I was thinking, hey, Arthur Conan Doyle killed Holmes, okay? And I want to talk about Oscar and Oscar night and what that was like.
Well, I always love to talk about that.
I so do we. More on the way, 839, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Line Avenue and Piermont Road dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we're still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic on Benton Road southbound near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert and Erin in studio for a little bit longer is Mr. William Joyce. His new book is called Jack Frost, The End of the Beginning. And the book signing is Saturday, December 8th. Barnes & Noble in Shreveport starts what time? I'm sorry. It's
2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Until whenever.
Until I'm done.
This is another in that series featuring those characters.
Yep. Supposedly the last, but I'm having too much fun. I may do more.
Okay, see, that was kind of my question, and I made the Sherlock Holmes reference. Oh, he and Moriarty over the cliff, over the waterfall. Do you ever just...
Oh, yes, I was so sick of these guys. I mean...
Yeah, do ya?
This book was so hard to do because, you know, it's supposed to wrap up the five volumes and the whole epic saga of these characters, of how the guardians of childhood, how Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and the Man in the Moon and the Easter Bunny and Jack Frost, and I ended up putting in Mother Nature, and Mother Goose. They're all how they came to be who they are, and that they are vast, amazing.
Your Santa Claus is Iron Man. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you very much. And I mean, I just wanted to make them cool, you know, and fantastic and kind and brave and everything you look up to, and the sort of James Bonds of childhood. But after 5 books and several thousand pages, I was getting weary. And I was like, gosh, and doing the last of a series, we have to wind up all these threads that have been going on in the other 4 books. And I couldn't even remember everything that I had in all the other books. So I had to go back and make a timetable and read everything and do a synopsis and go, oh, yeah, that's right. That's what happened in book 3. So it was a harder book to do, but also I was sort of like, I was having, you know, Jack Frost burnout. But by the time I got done, I was so pleased with how the book ended itself. And a writer oftentimes is just sort of led by some powers that are not quite in the forefront of what you don't know what you're doing most of the time. You're just kind of, you feel...
Are you an outline guy, or do you just start and see where it goes?
I start and see where it goes. And it took me to a place I did not expect in the end. I think the book is very touching and emotionally satisfying in a way that I was surprised by.
What are you working on now? What's next for you? What's at the Bill Joyce man cave computer right now?
Well, there's a bunch of stuff I can't talk about yet.
Boo.
But, you know,
there's a bar at Wine Country. I'll look over your shoulder.
Yes, listen in. You'll see. I mean, I'm working on several books. I'm working on several movies and different levels of completion for each. And I'm working on, you know, developing a bunch of these into films as a part of this new endeavor. And so there's tons to do. And it's been nice to just have Jack done, you know, and have that series maybe over with, except I've had so much fun with it. And there's been such an amazing response to Jack and the novel that I'm like, I don't know if I can give him up. He's sort of my fictional doppelganger, or he's the guy I wish I was.
Right,
you know?
right.
And so I will likely do more Jack Frost stuff. It's just he's too cool and too much fun to write about.
Let's talk about movies for a second. Okay. Matt, do we have the Oscar night soundbite? I run my headphones loud. You should be able to hear this one.
Look, we're just these 2 swamp rats from Louisiana.
You said you heard that a couple of seconds ago, and you know, oh my God, where did I come up with that? It was for the Fantastic Flying Books of Morris Lesmore, which was 2012. Was that it? 2013?
I can't remember.
Me either. Tell me about that night. Tell me about that whole Oscar experience.
Oh my gosh, it would take too long, but I'll try. The speech, the clip you just played.
Right.
I don't know where that came from. They had, before the Oscars, there's a wonderful lunch, the Oscar lunch. And all the nominees go, and it's at the Beverly Hills Hilton, and it's just, it's just so much fun. I mean, we sat next to George Clooney. We're at the table with George Clooney and the guys who did the film that won Best Picture that year, The Artist.
Mm-hmm.
And George Clooney was so fun and charming and fun and funny with us. I mean, ordering more and more wine, and we were having just a ball. But they tell us at that luncheon, and everybody gets a little toasted at this thing, but everybody relaxes, and that's the point. It's like we're coming to the last stage of this. The show is in 2 weeks. And we want you to be prepared. If you win, we want you to do well on stage because several billion people are going to watch. And they show a film of all the worst acceptance speeches.
Oh, wow.
And you're just like, ooh. And they're like, so please don't pull out a piece of paper and just read. Try to prepare something that is short, witty, and sounds like you made it up on the spot. But get it down pat. You have, I think it's 40 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You will see a clock ticking down, your time. If you go over that time, unless you're being brilliant, we're going to cut the mic off.
Wow.
And don't keep talking because you're going to look like a jerk. You're going to sit there talking into this thing and nothing's going to be coming out and they're going to be playing exit music and you'll just look bad. So keep it short, keep it witty, keep it moving, keep it emotional, keep it all these things, but don't pull out a piece of paper and read, okay? So Brandon and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what to say. And they also said, only one of you, if there's multiple winners, only one should speak. So it's like, we're not going to do that. We're both going to talk. So we worked out this speech the day before. We were supposed to go to some party, and we didn't. We pulled into this bar in Los Angeles, sat at the bar, and decided what we were going to say. And we mapped it out, and we worked it up. And I even had it written down, and I wore a hat from On Time Fashions here in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Oh, cool.
And at the Oscars, and I had it under my hat. When they announce your category, and a friend of mine told me who had won once, your brain will start to do things that you can't explain, and you maybe will never experience again. And I don't know how to describe them. But when they started announcing our category, I got tunnel vision.
Whooshing noise.
Just,
yeah.
And I couldn't hear.
Oh.
And I just stared at the guy ahead of me's head. The back of his head, because he had done the film that for Pixar that was nominated against us, and I thought, well, that's who's going to win if we don't. So since I can't hear right now, when I see him start to stand up, I'll know we lost.
Right.
But then they tear open the envelope, and you hear that, and it's as quiet as a tomb in this room full of 5,000 people. No matter what category, everybody gets quiet when they tear the envelope, and then. It was the girls from Bridesmaid that announced us. And I heard the winner is The Fan. And I went, and that's just, I don't know what happened from then on.
I'm getting chill bumps.
I think my atoms all like loosened.
Wow.
I became like a cloud of joy. And I just remember feeling helium-like and floating towards the stage. And got to the podium, and they handed me the Oscar, and they handed Brandon his Oscar. And right in front of us is George Clooney and Sandra Bullock, like 10 feet away on the front row. Our tuxes were made by Dickies.
I remember the tuxedos were unique.
So in one of the weird interviews that we had in the weeks prior, someone from Vogue magazine asked us, who will you be wearing? And it's sort of like
Dickies.
And Brandon's from Fort Worth, and he goes, Dickies of Fort Worth.
Oh, wow.
And they printed it. And then a few days later, the head of Dickies called and said, I would love to make y'all's tuxes. I'm going to send our tailor who does like all the movie stars stuff for Dickies.
Oh, my gosh.
Fly him in from Chicago. The only thing is you have to use Dickies fabric. And we're like, okay. So we almost had made camouflage tuxedos.
Oh, wow.
But we decided, it's a little too, rural. And let's go old school.
Swamp ratty.
We picked out instead asbestos black. And
oh, my God.
And they're fabulous tuxedos. It's still my favorite tuxedo because it does not wrinkle. It keeps its form.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't have to go in the dryer. It comes out of the spin cycle ready to go.
You could shoot bullets at it, and it would just. But the lining is danger orange, and the piping is danger orange.
Oh, how funny!
The flags that they wave,
Yeah.
That's what the interior of our tuxedos are. Which against the black is quite vivid.
Where is your Oscar?
Right now, it's in my kitchen.
Sitting on the counter.
Sitting on the counter. It's next to. Okay, for a while it was. When I had 3 Emmys, it was they were labeled salt, pepper, and Tabasco. And then when the Oscar came in, I was like, what condiment can I name that after? And I just never could come up with a good one. So then more Emmys came, and I just went, okay, they're all going to the office. I can't keep naming condiments.
We've got time for one more. Can I ask one more?
Oh, wait, but let me just...
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So we stood up there on the podium with our Dickies suits on, and the Danger Orange was... The lights are making our shirts glow orange. And we knew our speeches. But we heard George Clooney lean over to Sandra Bullock and go, "What's up with the short film guys' tuxes? They look like atomic, like they're glowing."
Oh,
and we looked down and we could see, yes, we were just wow. We both forgot our speeches, and so the first thing that came into my mind for some reason was, we're just a couple of swamp rats from Louisiana. That's how we. That's why.
Oh
I said
my
that.
goodness!
We've got about 2 or 2.5 minutes. You had talked early in the hour, and we talked about computers and CG and holograms and where the business is. And
the hocus pocus.
Exactly. But for you, at the end of the day, isn't it still the best when it's just a picture and words on a page?
Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how pretty all the pictures are. It doesn't matter how fantastic the CG is. That's all just colors moving around. Unless there's a good story, it doesn't make any difference. So the thing I have to always concentrate on most and get right is a compelling story, something that makes people say, "I wonder what happens next." Everything else is just, it's lagniappe unless you have that story.
Thousands more on the way, no doubt. Mr. William Joyce, an awesome hour. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Congratulations
me.
on everything, and congratulations for being a Shreveport guy.
Well, look, it's a fun place to be, and please come out to Barnes & Noble on Saturday, and I'll sign a book for you.
When you have news about Moonbot, I hope you'll come back.
I would love to.
Okay.
I love hanging out with you guys.
Our pleasure entirely. Thank you, sir. 8:55, it's 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Ruben's here.
The intersection at Milam Street and Hearn Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive southbound just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, 8:57. Here's Kim Commando.
New parents are having a tough time naming their offspring. For starters, the baby's name has to be freely available on social media. Kim Commando with your Wednesday Consumer Tech Update, brought to you by BePrepared.com, the best survival kit to protect your family. BePrepared.com/Kim. When my son was born, I purchased his name as a domain so he'd always have it. That's not good enough anymore, thanks to the rise of social media. Parents are now relying on available Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram handles to name their kids. The reason? Many parents want their kids to have a social media presence before they're born. After birth, social media might help them in business. The problem? It's not likely these social media sites will be available in 20 years. But they are onto something. The #1 earner on YouTube making videos in 2018 was a 7-year-old boy doing toy reviews. He made $22 million. His name is Ryan. I'm Kim Commando.
Ordinary political pundits, but these days, that's a good thing. These mamas make sense. Terry Netterville and Denise Arthur. Listen to Mama on American Ground Radio. Weeknights from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. And streaming live at KEELnews.com.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Don't forget about the KEEL app presented by Office Furniture Source. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Done. Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Probably in the same chairs again. Traffic update now. Here's Ruben.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Midway Avenue near Mansfield Road, and we're starting to see some traffic delays on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Quite a bit of rain headed our way. In fact, we could see as much as 3 to 6 inches of total rainfall through Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies today. We'll begin to see some showers this afternoon, mid-50s. Steadier rain overnight, mid-40s. Rain heavy at times Friday, especially into Friday night. Highs tomorrow near 50. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM.